What's up, marketers? Today I'm going to talk about the 5 new Facebook ad creatives I'll be testing in 2021. Now, I have created a ton of content about Facebook ad creative, and for good reason. This is the most important lever that you can pull on your Facebook ads. Yes, more important than your targeting and even your account structure. So if you want to succeed on your Facebook ads, you're going to need to invest in your creative. And the creative that I'm talking about today are brand new ad designs and strategies that I have never discussed before on this channel. So be sure after this video to check out my other videos about Facebook ad creative so that you will always have new ideas to test every single week. So the first ad type I want to talk about today is what I call the us versus them creative. Now, this is one of my favorite ad types to test this year because it is so direct in calling out why you are better than your competitors. So this is an ad I think is going to do particularly well in retargeting, especially since your customers are likely doing research on you and other brands. So this ad is a great way to frame why your brand is the right choice. Now, something interesting you can do with this ad type is to pair it with a split screen, which is a design tactic that does a really good job in stopping the scroll on both images and videos. I think that nearly any type of brand or product or service could benefit from having this type of ad in their creative arsenal, which is why it's definitely one of my top designs to test this year. If you like this ad type too, be sure to give me a like on this video so that YouTube will show it to more marketers. Now, the second ad type I want to talk about are seamless carousels. Now, this is not necessarily a new ad strategy, but it is something that I'm starting to see more and more floating around in the early days of 2021. So I'm interested in giving this strategy a try, particularly for brands that need more education to get people across the finish line to making that purchase. And essentially what this ad does is it uses a carousel that has a design element that continues on each slide. Now, the reason why I'm excited to give this strategy a try is because I saw really great results coming out of my carousels in late 2020. And to me, this is a very underutilized ad type. Something to note on this, however, is that it's more likely to be effective on Facebook desktop or mobile, where you can actually see that continuation on the next slide. On Instagram, you can see the little dots at the bottom of the ad, but you can't actually see that continuation. So if you're trying to improve your results on Facebook versus Instagram, this would probably be a good strategy to segment out from Instagram and the other type of placements and just use on Facebook to try and increase your results there. I think that'd be a really interesting test. Also, be sure that when you're building out this ad in the ad section that you opt out of Facebook optimizing for which other image is going to perform best. Since this is going to be a seamless, continuous carousel, you want the images to come in the order that you want them to. Otherwise, it's going to optimize for whichever image is going to do best, which is going to mess up that continuation or seamless carousel. Now, these can be kind of tedious to make, so I would just hire someone on Fiverr to bring your vision to life, but I have seen a few interesting tutorials on YouTube about how to create that, so I would just do a search in YouTube if you want to try creating it for yourself. Now, the next type of ad I'm going to be testing is bullet point creatives. Now, this creative type is another design that is super easy to make, which is great for brands that are on a budget. I actually created another video that was all about the easiest types of ad creatives to make yourself, and I totally forgot to add this strategy in there, so here it is. Now, this ad type is going to simply add the most important benefits or features of your product into bullet point form. I've seen this strategy most commonly used in images, but I think it could also be adapted for video or GIF form as well. And the reason why I like this ad strategy is because I think it's a great way to educate potential customers on the best features of your product. So again, it could be another one that's really good for retargeting, but I'd also test it out in prospecting as well, since that bullet point call out feature is so easy to retain the first time that you see it. The fourth ad type that I'm going to be using this year is a TikTok style content, which I like to call website to life. Now, I love this ad type. Essentially, what happens here is you film the product first on your website and then do a cool edit transition to having the product in real life. You know, something like this. Now, this is definitely a style that is borrowed from TikTok, but I would love to test it more on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. So if you're advertising on these platforms, this is an ad type that I'd highly suggest to build out and then use across all of those platforms. Additionally, this is a style that feels like user-generated content, or UGC, but it can be easily created by a media buyer or in-house with your cell phone. So this is the perfect ad to try creating yourself. What's cool too is you can easily edit this type of ad using the mobile app CapCut, which is free to use. The fifth and final ad type that I'm going to be talking about today is what I like to call a meme style ad. Now, I'm going to be real. I have not tested out this ad type too much, but I have heard from a ton of media buyers about how successful it is. So I'm definitely going to be testing this out in 2021. Now, meme style ads tend to break down into two different styles. One is image, which either is or feels exactly like a popular meme. And two is a video, which contains a heavy bar at the top or bottom of the screen, which contains headlines or subtitles. Now, since this ad format is something that I haven't used that often with my clients, I actually took to Twitter to ask which brands are nailing this type of ad content, which introduced me to a ton of great brands using this ad strategy, which includes Lumen, Disco Skin, Chubbies, and Dr. Squatch. And quickly, what's funny is I was able to notice a trend with these brands. Now, they're mostly geared towards men, and they're really funny. I actually really enjoyed going through the ads library on every single one of these brands. And another brand that I've actually followed for several years because of the humor they've used in their ads is Bird Dogs, which I think fits in nicely with this style of ad creatives. So I'm definitely going to be trying out this ad style for my male audiences, but I also think this could do well for women depending on the product or brand. And that is it. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe so you can learn more about Facebook ads for free. Also, be sure to leave me a comment below about which one of these ad types you're going to test in 2021. All right, that's all. Thanks, guys. Bye.